Actually, who's looking for the MacGuffin, the spray that Vickers took. Again, I kind of go into the whole. The scene is short and efficient. The funny thing about these short, efficient scenes is that they're expensive. When it comes to filming, they cost just as much as a long, efficient scene. Inefficient scene. So many people try to avoid these kinds of scenes, or have them do multiple things at the same time, or try to reuse the scenes. Like they technically do reuse the place where Vickers buys the food. You see him again later on there to try and like steal food. So they'll try and do that. But this one, having many talk scene adds an element of adventure and momentum. There's movement to a scene by going from new place to new place. So that's always good directing advice.
Are you talking about like shooting a scene at a specific location?
And then moving to another location, and then moving to another location. Like, for example, Star Wars will always have at least 3 to 5 locations. No, 5 locations.
Episode, yes.
Yeah, per movie, yeah. Otherwise, it won't feel like an adventure.
Yes.
So you need to move. But that has a consequence. So it's good, it gives you momentum, but it's not always worth it. You know what I mean? So, because especially from a producer's perspective, if your job is to find this money and you tell someone you have to, remember, when it comes to lights, right, whatever angle you're shooting at, right, those lights, if you want to switch an angle, you have to switch all the lights. That's an hour. You know what I mean? That's an hour for every angle. So that's money out your pocket right there. That's paying your actors. That's paying for the location. So sometimes these things are not worth it. But that's kind of why Stranger Things was so good, because they went to a lot of locations. Even though it was one location, it was one city, town, they moved a lot. And the directors talk about this. That cost them money. They said that was expensive, but in order to get the momentum to feel movement in Stranger Things, they felt it was worth it.
Right.
Yeah. That's why one of the reasons why season 1 of Stranger Things is so good.
So how do they cut costs then in such a situation?
Reusing it. So like again with the Vickers thing where he goes to the restaurant to get the food and then the blood comes out. Part in the season, in the show, in the episode, in the movie, you see him go back to the same location, right? And then to like try and steal food when his hand is messed up, to like try and steal food because he's starving. So what a lot of people do is they'll use that location. You'll shoot in one day. So you come at 8 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, you shoot the eating scene. Cool. Still, now it's 10 or 12 o'clock. You've been shooting for hours. Then the rest of that time is the second scene. So what they'll do is they'll try to maybe shoot 5 scenes in one location. Okay.
Right.
And then you get done in one day. Or maybe in 2 days, because maybe they'll give you a discount if you don't have to leave. You can leave your equipment there, come the next day. You know what I mean? Saves money. So that's how you save money, by reusing. So that's why like a movie like Buried with what's Deadpool's name again? Ryan Reynolds, yes. Where he's shot in the hole in the ground. That must have been so cheap. I think the only money was just paying the actor. You know what I
mean? I need to watch it. I haven't watched Buried. What is it about?
Basically, Ryan Reynolds wakes up with a torch and a cell phone, and he's buried alive. And it's just 2 hours of him trying to get out of there.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's intense. Because it turns out that he's actually one of those, like, you get like in Iraq and Iran, you get like those oil fields. They'll be some of them will be run like by like American companies. Well, there'll be Americans who are working to make sure that the oil field works. You know what I mean, or refining it. So then, he's one of those people, and he gets kidnapped. He's like a truck driver, I believe. Yeah, he gets kidnapped, and the whole story flows from there. Reservoir Dogs, one location. So the movie only costs like 400 million. 400.
I wouldn't say. Oh, by location, you mean like the area?
Yes.
One
factory with no need for extras, so only 400,000.
That's like what, the third act, right? For the third act, because I think Reservoir Dogs, you would say maybe it's 5 locations in throughout the whole movie.
Oh, let's see.
It's the restaurant, because it starts at the restaurant when they talk about tipping and whatever. And it's
a short one on the rooftop, and then you get a short one with the police station. Yeah, where they're describing what it means to be an undercover cop.
Oh, was it by the rooftop?
Yeah,
Was
it
it
was,
by like a diner or something?
no, that becomes another scene later on. And then there's a couple scenes in a car,
In the
but
car, and then there's the toilet scene with the dogs.
yeah, yeah.
And
So
then,
yeah, 6 locations.
yeah, and then it's the factory.
8 for 8, how many locations are in there? Like 2?
Yeah.
Like 3 at best?
Yeah.
Like Tarantino, like doing that, you have to be a really good writer. Because
Mm.
now your dialogue is, now it's all about momentum. You have to find momentum in another means.
Have you ever watched The Sunset Limited? Where,
Like Sunset Boulevard or whatever, with Tommy Lee Jones and Samuel Jackson, one of my favorite movies, one of the top 20 movies of all time.
yeah, one location, bro. Well, I guess you could say when it starts showing different, I mean, the same location, but like, I mean,
Yeah.
well, I mean, they show the train, they show people walking about, but
Let's say,
99% of that movie is in one location, bro.
based on the stage play, fantastic. Both. See, that's what it means to have a high caliber actor right there. They managed to carry the weight. Woo.
Dude, and the thing about that movie is you don't necessarily disagree with any of them, and you don't necessarily fully agree with any of them.
No, that's what made the ending so perfect. I mean, when Tommy Lee Jones is just like comes at him and he's like, yo, just whispering in his ear at the end, basically. Then he bounces.
Maybe one day we'll touch on that movie.
Yes,
Because
we
there's
need
not really much to talk about except for the dialogue. Like it's dialogue heavy. You know, like you're saying, it's based on a stage play.
raw emotion, dude. It's raw emotion. When Tommy Lee Jones starts so small, he starts so small, and then he gets big. And Samuel Jackson starts
big,
then he gets explosively big, and he's so strong. And then at the end, he's like begging for a sign, and the light turns on.
like that movie.
Faith in
And
your heart.
he was basically trying to stop the inevitable to basically cut it short, because after that whole conversation, it didn't change anything.
Well, that's one way of interpreting it, but definitely you don't know for sure. Then people like Samuel Jackson will never know. I mean, he believes because the light shines on him, so he believes fully that that's what happened, but we don't know. For all we know, Tommy Lee Jones made a move to change his life.
Maybe.
But then again, that's kind of the point, is that being a Christian is not about it's not about the W's, man.
It's not. Like I think where Samuel L. Jackson got it. Okay, I know we're going off tangent, but it's just a bookmark to say that we probably might talk about this movie in the future.
Yeah,
and maybe we might bring an actor who has watched it to join us. But basically, for me, I would say that movie is about this thing of preaching to someone instead of actually having a proper conversation with them. Like when you're trying to push an agenda, right? Because that's what he was doing. He was trying so hard to push this certain concept to Tommy Lee Jones instead of just listening to what Tommy Lee Jones is saying. Because he was listening, but he was listening still having an agenda to push. That's how I saw it. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I like that. That's a different perspective, man. I like yours. I think that's cool. I would love us to bounce off each other. I think that would be.
We should. We should.